one. Here comes more commercials in comics. Yeah, looking at more print ads in comic books. And you know, this is something that I bet advertisers never expected anybody, especially decades later, to be analyzing with a fine-tooth comb. Look out, world. I'll review anything, no matter how random or innocuous it might seem, because I always have an opinion. Always. Today, we're taking a look at ads that were in Cloak and Dagger number 10, published by Marvel Comics in January of 1987. And it seems like the farther back we go, the more random and strange the ads become. Let's take a look. Here's another candy ad, but this one is far more enticing than that spree word search we did last week. Partly because all you have to do is say the rapper's name, M&M, and I'm ready to lose myself. And partly because it's not giving me 10 minutes of mind-numbing busy work trying to sear the name of its product into my cranium. This is a pretty effective ad, I think. Colorful, eye-catching, the white background helps the product pop out, and the block letters are really appropriate for comics, so it's keenly aware of its target audience. But it's M&Ms. It doesn't have to try. Put a picture of a close-up of an M&M in the center and you're done. And no, I don't need to color it in or fill in the outline on a dot-to-dot or do a crossword puzzle. I've been eating M&Ms since I glanced at this. Of course, it's too bad the slogan's not really true. They do melt in your hand, you know, if you're dumb enough to make a fist too long. Don't read comics with chocolate in your hands, kids. This ad isn't even tempting you to ruin the value of your book, but that misleading slogan might if anybody takes M&M's Mars at their word. Double dash. Somebody's a stickler for punctuation. I'm curious as to why only the brown M&Ms are wearing hats. I can't decide if I should read it all into that. And you notice this is before the days of those dainty fun-size packs. You know, the ones that you eat and then like 5 minutes later you don't even remember that you've had any. Since when is fun equated with super tiny? When it comes to candy, fun size in the dictionary should mean large or a whole bunch of them. Things haven't changed much. We're still selling M&Ms more or less the exact same way now. They still have arms and legs and faces. We've made it more disturbing now with computer-animated commercials about M&Ms quaking in fear about to get eaten. But that's how yummy M&Ms are. They would be hard to resist even if they were sentient beings pleading with you not to murder them. These M&Ms don't seem to have put together yet that the thing that makes it fun for everyone is that they're going to get devoured. They're just swinging into a bag of their unsuspecting brethren, having the time of their lives, when the ad is really about how I'm going to have the time of my life eating these happy little guys. And at least it's not as disturbing as endangered species animal crackers. Apparently you should be wearing a hat. Don't you just love it when you're reading a comic and then you start reading the first panel on the next page only to discover to your immense irritation that it's not part of the comic you're reading but a print ad in the style of a comic? There's a difference between keeping the medium your ad is in mind, like the M&M ad did, and being deceptive. At least this one has a giant Lazer Tag logo right at the top, so you'll probably immediately notice it's trying to sell you something. If ads were all in the back like they are with most indie publishers these days, I wouldn't mind it so much, but ads are obtrusive enough, distracting you from what you're trying to read to sell you Toyotas or Spree or other comics. But it's even worse when you're distracted from your comic reading by another comic. You know, I created this show to review something kind of different and a little outside of my comfort zone, and here I am just talking about comics again. So, you're my next target. Oh yeah? Zap! Blip, blip, blip. He got me 5 times! Only 1 left! Bleep, bleep. Well, if you had no idea what Lazer Tag is, that's a pretty concise, somewhat accurate dramatization of what it's like, minus the sweating and mortal terror. Win or lose, yeah, it should be a game. Win, lose, draw, or Lazer Tag. Win or lose, Lazer Tag is always fun. I disagree. If you're playing with one other person and he keeps ducking in a corner somewhere, he finds a really good spot, he never leaves, and you have to keep coming out trying to hit him, but he's a way better shot than you are and you can't get to him anyway, that can be immensely boring. And this is really 80s. Let's just name everything star something. Get the Lazer Tag game kit with an infrared beam shooting star light trademark, a star sensor trademark with an LED readout that scores up to 6 hits, and a star belt trademark, star helmet trademark, and star vest trademark available separately. The more technical it sounds, the more awesome it must be. Good thing for the Lazer Tag people, George Lucas couldn't trademark both Star and War separately. Yeah, all you gotta do is make up futuristic sci-fi sounding words and kids will harass their parents until they rush out and buy it. And then they'll never buy their kids a comic book again. Jeez, I'm just spending 75 cents on a brochure full of crap my kids are gonna keep begging me for. Jeez, I'm just spending 95 cents on a brochure full of crap my kids are gonna keep begging me for. Oh, and batteries not included. Seriously? There was a Lazer Tag Academy cartoon on NBC? Right, because watching people learn how to play laser tag along with Transformers and Ninja Turtles sounds like the stuff memorable childhoods are made of. Well, since we're living in the future, might as well go online and find the show and see what it thought the future would look like. And I bet nobody thought 30 years later anybody would be scrutinizing this either.
1,000 years from now.
So now it's 970 years from now.
Laser Tag champion Jamie Jarren is the sole possessor of Starlight power. Until the resurrection of a master criminal from the past, Draxton Greer.
But we'll just call him Khan. Longest monorail train ever. Disclaimer, toy does not shoot ice beams or fix monorail track. Did he just make all those kids disappear with a pentagram gun?
By Jamie Jarren. Jamie must team with her ancestors, Tom, Beth, and Nikki Jarren.
Most dramatic reading of the name Beth in history. Hey look, it's Lazer Tag of the Lost! Wait a minute, this is just Legends of Tomorrow, the animated series. 1987, so Gene Roddenberry either ripped off this show or secretly created it. So why wasn't the comic and the ad done in the style of the show and using those characters? Then they could have advertised the product and the cartoon at the same time. This just looks like a genericified version of that already generic-looking TV show. And now let's end the show with another current advertisement. This is Daredevil number 3. It came out just this week. This is from the current Charles Soule run. And we're going to look at a different kind of ad. This is how Marvel has been selling the next issue that comes out in each of their runs since the reboot. And they all look like this, but we're going to just use this one as an example. A lot of comics like to show you the cover for next month's issue to excite you to see what's coming, but the header Marvel's putting on those right now strikes me as silly. Wouldn't it be enough to include the cover image and the footer at the bottom? Don't miss Daredevil number 4. Even if the cover image was the only thing there, I think most of us would understand we were looking at next month's cover. Perhaps if this was your very first comic book, you might be dazed for a second and wonder what you were looking at, maybe try to figure out why there was a pinup poster in the back, but I think the number at the bottom is probably sufficient. IDW always says next month or next month issue number whatever, but no, ever since All New, All Different started, Marvel has felt the need to hold your hand like you're a 4-year-old in a crowded grocery store. You want to know what happens next? Now, this probably seems really nitpicky to some of you, but I felt like the publisher thought I was a total maroon the first time I saw this. In fact, I even think that header without the bottom would be less insulting. Want to know what happens next? And then it's implying that you're looking at next issue's cover. But this way, it's like I'm drooling and scratching my head, like, yeah, wow, how do I find out what happens next? Hey, want to find out what happens next in our show? Well, you'll have to wait till next week for Commercials in Comics number 4. Yeah, I thought I'd be a nice guy and let you know how you can find out what happens next so that you wouldn't see this to be continued title card and be like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. How do I find out what happens next in this sequential series that's numbered and is clearly going to have another one that comes after that?